Alright, today we're going to look at this cooler from Deep Cool. This is a Gammaxx 400. Let's see here. Comes with a 120 millimeter PWM fan with blue LEDs. No RGB, sorry. Now on this box it says overclocking. It's got 4 heat pipes. If you look at the top, it looks like 8, but it's really 4, just U-shaped. They run up each side. It's got support for both Intel and AMD brackets. It says it is AM4 ready. Technically, it's not AM4. It's AM3. Before we were so rudely interrupted. Technically, it's AM3 bracket mount, which most AM4 motherboards still support. Now, something to know, it takes a massive amount of pressure to get these little bracket mounts to work. So, you know, if you're trying to get it done and you're afraid you're going to break your CPU, just be careful. I did it. It'll work just fine. Other than that, we're going to see how well it does on this 8-core 16-thread Ryzen processor. This is the 1700X. We're just going to be running the 120 millimeter fan it comes with, because obviously if we add 2, it's going to improve cooling. I want to see what this thing will do out of the box. Throw it on there and see what we can get. As far as Intel sockets go, 2011 version 3, 2011 1366, 115X 775. And, you know, AMD is FM2, FM2 Plus, FM1, AM3 Plus, AM3, AM2. We're showing 125 watts of heat dissipation on the AMD socket and 130 on the Intel socket. Seems a little low for what we're doing. It's got little pads on it for devibration. I already told you, PWM fan. Apparently a long life bearing, which could mean 1,000 different things depending on which company you're talking to. Other than that, guys, it's about it. Let's stress the crap out of it and see what happens. Alright, what we're going to do here, we're going to open up our hardware monitor. We're going to open up Prime 95. And then we're going to open up AMD Ryzen Master. Just for temperature. Let's go small F. Okay, we're just going to stress the CPU here. Alright, we are stressing. We're also running OBS in the background, recording the screen. So bear that in mind. We're up to 74, 75, 76. And this is overclocked to 3.85 gigahertz on all 8 cores. with a 1.35 V-core. You may or may not hear, but the fans are starting to speed up just a little bit. By the way, the fans are on a standard profile in ASRock's fan tuning software. So no custom fan curves or anything like that, just the standard ASRock fan profile for all the fans. 78 degrees Celsius. So we'll let this run like this for about 10 minutes and see what happens. Also, remember that Prime 95 is extreme torture. You're not going to run into anything quite like this in your everyday use case, as far as pounding your CPU this hard. But I got to say, we're leveling off here at about 78, 79 degrees Celsius. The ambient temperature in the room, we're sitting at about 33 Celsius. So it's not bad for a $24 cooler. But I'm going to go ahead and shut off this camera, and we will let it do this for about 10 minutes. We'll come back. I'll show you guys what time it is. It is 6:58. So we'll come back. We'll come back at about 7:05 and check what our temperatures look like. Okay, so we've definitely got, we're kind of leveled off here at about 80 degrees Celsius, 80.25. As you could see, we never dipped below our core clock, but this CPU right here, I'm not sure, this is the first thread of the second core. It's dropping down in the 60s and 70s, while the other side of that same core is at 100%. I'm not sure about that. I don't think it's got anything to do with thermal throttling, because our core clocks haven't dropped. Now number 3 is doing it, which is the other side of that same one. I bet you this is some kind of thermal throttling, because you see our temperature's dropping now. So you start throttling at about 80 degrees Celsius. Not bad. Let's go ahead and stop the test. And let's look at so I'm guessing that is thermal throttling. It's not too horribly bad. I'm impressed for a $23, $24 cooler. But what I'll do is we'll drop the core clock, or not the core clock, the V-core, and then we'll add a second 120 millimeter fan, match the fan speeds, and run it like that. And we'll see what happens. See if we can keep it from hitting that, breaking that 80-degree mark. So we'll go ahead and stop our recording here, and I'll add the fan, and we'll come back and see what happens. Start recording on OBS. Let's go ahead and open up hardware monitor. And Prime 95. Alright, we can see everything we need to see. Go ahead and just move this down. Okay. So we've dropped our V-core to 1.325. We've added a fan to the cooler. Everything else is the same. So let's see if we can maintain something lower so we're not thermal throttling. And I will, in the link, I'll put down in the description a link to this cooler and the fan as well, the extra fan, because so happens that this extra fan is Rosewell, which is Newegg's house brand. I will put those links down in the description if you want to pick this up on your own. I'll also put a link to the same deep cool fan that this cooler comes with, in case you want to match your fans up. But honestly, you could buy two of the same fans. Buy the Thermaltake Ring 3-pack, pull two fans out, use them, whatever you want to do. Do like I did, use two different fans, just make sure they match. The speed matches. So let's give this about 10 minutes or so. It is 7:24 right now, so we'll give it a few minutes. I'll go ahead and shut this camera off, and we'll let it heat up. Come back, see what happens. Okay. This is a little frustrating because it started doing it again. I think I might have a bad core. I'm losing voltage to this core, or watts, whatever you want to call it. We're 5 degrees. It seems to have leveled off here between 74 and 75. So we've dropped our temperature, but we're still killing the same core. So I don't know if I've got a bad core or what. I'm out of room. Okay, we're out of room on our camera, so we're just going to do this through OBS. I'm going to go in and raise the V-core back up and see if that's what's causing this core to die off. Also, I'm going to run my next test without OBS or anything running in the background to see if the Windows scheduler is assigning this core to OBS, just so OBS has something to run off of. Actually, let's do that first. I'm going to go ahead and stop OBS here. I'll be back in a minute to let you all know what happened. Okay, so ends up, the problem we were having with the cores dying is not enough voltage. So I bumped the voltage up to 1.352. 1.352. Yes, 1.352. I believe. I'll confirm that. It'll be in the comments. Anyways, bumped the voltage up a little bit. Quit having cores fail the Prime 95 test. So running stable at 3.85. We maxed out after about 30 minutes of Prime 95 at about 81 degrees. It leveled off. It didn't get any hotter. All the cores stayed active. So, and that's with 2 fans running in standard mode. I would call that a success. On a decent overclock on a $24 CPU cooler. Hell, you can't beat that. Shenanigans. Anyways, that's about all I got for you. So, I'll put a link to the description of this cooler. If you're looking for something cheap to get you by until you do your custom water cooling loop or something, pick this cooler up. 24 bucks. Throw a whatever fan you might have happen to be laying around. Throw it on there. Be good to go. If you guys liked the video, hit that like button. If you didn't like it, well, hit the dislike button. Make sure you subscribe. Big shout out to a friend of mine who actually loaned me this camera I'm using right here. This is a GoPro Hero 3 because my cell phone I've been using kind of went and broke. So big shout out to him. I'll put a link to his channel down in the description. You guys go check his stuff out. He does a lot of stuff with drones. Really neat stuff. That's about all I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.